Wrigleyville, busy as always on game day. It is a gorgeous day here on the north side as we bring you the Hyundai leadoff man on WGN Sports. The Cubs hosting the Atlanta Braves as they wrap up a 7-game homestand and a 4-game series. Hi again, everyone. I'm Len Casper. Welcome to the leadoff man. Beautiful day, wind blowing in, so it has cooled things off just a little bit. The Cubs started this homestand winning the first 2 against the Cardinals. Then they lost 3 in a row before winning a close one last night. Let's get you the highlights of Game 3 of this series. After the Braves had taken the first 2, another beautiful night. Really hot, though. 86 degrees and a crosswind at 14 miles an hour out of the northwest. Didn't bother Alfonso Soriano here. Straightaway center off Derek Lowe. His second homer in as many nights. 2-0 Cubs. Good to see them get the early lead. They would add on in that second inning as Tony Campana would reach on an error by Dan Uggla. He then steals second base, moves to third on a balk by Lowe, and then the pitcher Randy Wells knocks him in. Wells with his first RBI of the season. It's 3-0 Cubs. Now in the 7th inning, Wells with maybe his best performance of the year. This would be his final pitch, a changeup that was a very good pitch for him. One of the rare hangers, and Chipper Jones with his 449th career homer. That made it 3-1. After Alex Gonzalez homered in the 8th to make it 3-2. Carlos Marmol comes on. He hit the first batter of the inning, but a couple of big strikeouts. Freddie Freeman and then Jason Hayward looking to end the game. The Cubs win 3-2. It's been a tough year for Randy Wells, but he's over 500. 5-4 on the year, including 2-0 against the Braves. Carlos Marmol with his 30th save of the season, so that's back-to-back 30-save campaigns for Marmol. It would be nice to see the Cubs win today, have a winning homestand. Very tough trip coming up. They've got 3 against surging Milwaukee at Miller Park this weekend before heading to San Francisco. As we go to break on the Hyundai leadoff man, our Chicago and Northwest Hyundai dealers. Spotlight reminds us to check out the award-winning Hyundai Sonata and the all-new Hyundai Elantra at myhyundai.com. Well, a lot of the talk about the Cubs this season, and rightly so, has been about all-star Starlin Castro, just 21 years old. But how about his double play partner, Darwin Barney? Today he makes his 100th start of the year at second base. He's put together an excellent defensive year. Look at this catch against Jason Hayward last night. Remember, he almost single-handedly stopped Dan Uggla's hitting streak at 33 games in Atlanta on the last road trip. Darwin comes in hitting .293 on the season, 17 hits over his last 11 games, and I mentioned 100 starts now at second base, including today, and also 4 at short to give his double play partner a rest. So the Cubs today try to make things difficult on the wild card leading Braves. And our AutoZone tip of the day brought to you by my partner Bob Brenly. Don't forget your sunglasses. A lot of sunshine here at Wrigley Field. The tip of the day brought to you by AutoZone. For the auto parts, accessories, and advice you need, get in the zone. AutoZone. Brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Check out the award-winning Hyundai Sonata and the all-new Elantra at myhyundaichicago.com. 1 week from today will be September 1st. That means the rosters can expand to 40, so the Cubs already discussing who they might call up for the upcoming homestand, which starts on September 2nd against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Brian LaHair is certainly a name near the top of that list as we check in on the Cubs minor league report. LaHair now with 105 RBIs on the season, 2 more home runs. He has 36 on the year with Iowa, hitting .336 on the season. You see Rebel Ridling extending his hit streak to 9 games with AA Tennessee. Daytona got swept in a doubleheader, but at least they're playing, getting a lot of rain, of course, in the state of Florida. We mentioned this difficult schedule for the Cubs here lately with Milwaukee and San Francisco coming up on the next trip. The team they're playing, the Atlanta Braves, they're in second place in their own division, but they lead the wild card by a whopping 8 games. You see San Francisco is 8.5 out there, but just 2 back of Arizona in the West. Braves are 6.5 behind the Phillies, but at this point it doesn't matter. It looks like they're going to get in, barring a late season collapse. So we'll have Cubs baseball coming up. Brandon Beachy against Matt Garza coming up next. from the corner of Clark and Addison here in Chicago. We're set for Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. A beautiful day on the north side as we bring you Game 4 of this series against the Braves. The Cubs wrap up a 7-game homestand. We welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. And hi again, everyone. Alongside Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. The Cubs trying to slow down a hot Braves team. They did snap their 6-game winning streak last night. They have that big lead in the wild card, but the Cubs have played them tough this year.
You know, they really have, Len. The Braves have the 3rd most wins in all of Major League Baseball going into play today, but the Cubs have played them tough. A win today, they would win the season series. Did well in Atlanta with the bats. Not quite so good here at home in Chicago. We'll see what happens today.
It'll be hard-throwing Matt Garza on the mound today. Interesting start his last time out. Got in a little trouble early, but didn't give up a run against the Cardinals.
Yeah, he was really good. 7 innings, a 5-hit shutout ball. Matt Garza's been pitching some of his best baseball of the season down the stretch, and he likes it here at Wrigley Field. They don't call it the friendly confines for nothing.
It'll be Kokomo, Indiana native Brandon Beachy going for the Braves. A no decision against the Cubs in Atlanta, and this will be his Wrigley Field debut.
Pretty good looking young pitcher, and this guy's been on quite a roll in his last 6 starts, as you see the numbers.
All right, let's go down to the field. Wayne Messmer with today's national anthem.
Remove your caps and join Wayne Messmer, accompanied by Gary Pressey at the Lowry organ, as they honor America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
The great Wayne Messmer getting you set for Cubs action here on WGN Sports. A gorgeous afternoon. We'll have the lineups, the first pitch, and Cubs baseball next. Bud Light Lime, the just right taste of Bud Light with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor. Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Ford, the newest vehicles on the road are now at your local Ford store, like the all-new Ford Explorer, SUV, 100% reinvented. Visit localfordstores.com. Ford, drive one. And by the Illinois Lottery. Play the Wheel of Fortune instant game from the Illinois Lottery for a chance at $250,000. Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. This is how you draw it up. Let's get the umpires for you. Marty Foster in his 13th Major League season will work the plate. Bill Welke, Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, and DJ Rayburn will be on the bases. We've actually, Bob, been very fortunate with the weather throughout this homestand. We've had some rain, but I guess at the right times, so to speak, not during that 3-hour window of Cubs baseball.
Yeah, some threats to pregame activities, occasionally some rain after the ball game, but we've been very lucky on this homestand. This is the payback for April and May.
So it'll be Matt Garza today as the Cubs try to earn the split. Atlanta took the first 2 games. The Cubs winning last night 3-2, a combined 3-hitter. Randy Wells, Sean Marshall, Kerry Wood, and Carlos Marmol. Man, the bullpen has been really good lately.
Well, in this series, both bullpens have been really good. You know, with the starters not getting as deep into the ball game as you might like, it really helps for both managers to have the kind of drop-dead arms that they have available in the bullpen. Been extremely impressed by the Braves tandem at the end of their bullpen. Johnny Venters, the lefty, and Craig Kimbrell, the right-handed closer, have been fantastic.
Earlier today, these lucky fans won Illinois Lottery instant game tickets and could win cash instantly. There will be a lucky row of winners during each Cubs home game this season. Remember, Cubs fans, you can play the Wheel of Fortune instant game from the Illinois Lottery for your chance at $250,000. That baseball is waiting for Matt Garza to throw it. And here he comes.
The calm before the storm.
Now the Braves starting lineup written out by Freddie Gonzalez. Michael Bourne leading the National League with 98 hits since the 1st of June. That's when he was with Houston. Prado, McCann, Ugla. You've got Freddie Freeman, a Rookie of the Year candidate at first. Alex Gonzalez at short. Jason Hayward getting his 3rd straight start in right. Jose Constanza back in the lineup after the ankle injury on Monday. He's in left with Brandon Beachy on the mound.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today behind Matt Garza. Brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Johnson, Bird, and Colvin across the outfield left to right this afternoon. Ramirez and Castro on the left side. The Cubs with a Rookie of the Year candidate in their own right at second base, Darwin Barney. We featured him in the leadoff man show today. Carlos Pena over at first base. Giovanni Soto doing the catching once again this afternoon for right-hander Matt Garza. Don't even pay any attention to that record, because the way Matt Garza has pitched this year, he deserves to be in at least double-digit victories by now. Has really been on a good roll lately, has had an overpowering fastball at times. His curve has been very consistent for him. Hopefully his team will score some runs for him early today.
Talked about how deliberate he is. I think between pitches, still not quite as slow as Steve Traxel, but when it comes to just getting onto the field and taking his warm-up tosses, he is in absolutely no hurry.
Well, and I do give him credit, because he takes his warm-up tosses the way he's going to pitch when the game actually starts. And we've seen some pitchers that go out there and just flip their 8 warm-up pitches into the catcher. They don't even use a full wind-up. They never throw out of the stretch. And then when the game starts, it's all fresh to them.
Yeah, everything he does is very much with a purpose. And considering how much energy he has, I think that might be the reason why, to just keep himself calm and not try to rush.
Well, and one thing to watch for today, especially with Michael Bourn at the top of the order and Jose Constanza at the bottom of the order, see if they try to bunt on Matt Garza today. He's had some defensive issues with 6 errors on the season.
One of those errors was against the Braves in Atlanta. Michael Bourn 7 for 14 against Matt Garza. And we're underway. Fastball missed away. 72 degrees and a stiff northeast wind at 16. And that little floater will get out into left. So Michael Bourn, the major league leader in stolen bases, is at first.
We want to let our AT&T U-verse viewers in Chicago and around the country on WGN America know that during every Cubs home game this season, if you go to channel 780 or high def channel 1780, you can see a special multi-view presentation that shows you all of our different live camera angles here at Wrigley Field. It's pretty cool. So if you want to direct the game along with Skip Ellison, give a look to AT&T U-verse channel 780 or high def channel 1780.
Martin Prado filling in at third for Chipper Jones. Prado normally in left. Freddie Gonzalez, I would say, does have a luxury in that Jason Hayward had a really good game the other day. He gets Constanza back in there and also able to keep Hayward in the lineup.
You saw that stat at the bottom of your screen there a moment ago. Michael Bourn with 13 stolen bases against the Cubs this season. Only Lou Brock, Maury Wills, and Vince Coleman have had more in one season against the Cubs.
Fastball in there, 0-1 to Prado. Just 1 for 12 so far in the series. Ground ball, not a double play ball. And they don't get an out as Garza can't handle that short toss from Barney. So 2 on with nobody out.
All right, 2 base runners in the game already for the Braves after 2 hitters, and neither ball made enough noise to wake a baby. Little floater into left field by Bourn. That time a cue shot ground ball to the right side, just out of the diving reach of Carlos Pena. They're going to hang an error on Matt Garza on that play.
It's his 7th already this season. Brian McCann, the catcher. Ball 1. I mentioned he had some first inning troubles in his last start. Got a huge double play ball. Was fabulous the rest of that outing. 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs. And everything really changed after a visit from his manager. Matt didn't look too pleased when he was ordered to intentionally walk Albert Pujols, but it worked out. And now the 2-0 pitch. There's a blast by Brian McCann into the wind, and he finds the 4th or 5th row in the bleachers. It's 3-0. Last night, that ball finds the street.
Well, the first two hitters may have reached on cheap contact, but there was absolutely nothing cheap about this. A monster home run into the teeth of the wind that's blowing straight in from right center. Brian McCann drove that ball right through the wind about 5 or 6 rows deep into the bleachers.
Single error home run to start the game, and it's 3-0. And here's Dan Uggla. 21st homer for McCann.
A lot of forearm banging going on in that first base dugout. I think the Braves realize how important Brian McCann is going to be to their possible postseason run this year, both behind the plate and at the plate. That was a titanic home run.
They're 51st since the All-Star break. That leads the National League. Uggla could not hold, according to Bill Welke. Three and one. Rather 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the first out.
Well, that's the fastball that's been so effective for Matt Garza, especially in the second half of the season. That one up above the letters near the top of the strike zone. Little extra giddy up at 95 for strike 3 to Dan Uggla.
Curveball in there on Freddie Freeman. One hit in the series, a home run. One of two excellent Rookie of the Year candidates on the Braves roster. The other one is their closer, Craig Kimbrell. And we could probably throw Brandon Beachy into that as well. This will be his 20th start today as a 3.32 earned run average. That was in on his hands, to say the least, and he was able to fight it off.
3 consecutive breaking balls to get to that pitch, and then Matt Garza threw one of his best fastballs right in on the knuckles of Freddie Freeman. Oh my, tied him up big time.
Back-to-back Ks, 2 outs. And it's been a while. We'd love to hear from you. LennonBob@Tribune.com. You can go to Facebook and Twitter as well. She hearts Bob and Len.
Unfortunately, those two guys sitting next to her are Bob and Len.
Alex Gonzalez pops it up. Darwin Barney circling with this heavy wind today, and the inning's over. They get 3 on the homer by McCann, with the Cubs coming up. Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Castro, Barney, and Ramirez, who is scorching hot. A 5-hit game 2 nights ago. Pena, Johnson, and Bird in the middle, with Colvin, Soto, and Garza at the bottom.
Quick look at the Braves defensively today. Constanza in left, Bourne in center, Hayward in right, Prado at third base today. Found it interesting, Len, Starlin Castro, after his focus issues the other day, said he was really paying a lot of attention to Alex Gonzalez and the way he goes about his business. I think that's a real good idea, because Alex Gonzalez is one of the better defenders at his position in the game. Dan Uggla at second, Freddie Freeman at first. Brian McCann will be doing the catching today for right-hander Brandon Beachy. 20 the start of the season for the rookie Beachy. Big-time strikeout numbers. Has the full complement of 4 pitches, fast curve, slider, change, although he'll rely heavily on the fastball and the slider.
Mentioned his start against the Cubs in Atlanta. He got a no decision on the 14th. 5 1/3, 6 hits, 2 runs. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 8. As he pitches here at Wrigley Field for the first time. I'm sure he has some family and friends who've made the trip up from Kokomo, Indiana. I read that he was more a White Sox than Cubs fan growing up.
All the more reason to beat him today.
6'3", 215. And a pretty good sign for the Braves. He was a non-drafted free agent. They got him in 2008.
Made his major league debut last September against the Phillies, and since he made his debut, he's averaged 9.85 strikeouts per 9 innings. Very impressive.
Popped up, Uggla dropped it. It carried a little farther than Uggla thought it would, and then he could not haul it in. He's got his sunglasses on. I'm sure the sun bothered him a little bit. And we know Uggla's not known for his defense, but that was catchable.
In the glove, out of the glove, just couldn't make the recovery once he tapped it up into the air, and Starlin Castro on with a leadoff hit. I think it's a hit.
He did heed your tip of the day, which is to remember the sunglasses, but it didn't help him. It's a hit for the NL leader. And here's Darwin Barney. Castro with 167 base hits. Fastball is inside to Barney. At the belt to make it 2-1.
See how aggressive the Cubs are going to be on the bases today. Granted, trailing by 3 runs early, but a lot of baseball left, and especially in that game last night, Tony Campana and Starlin Castro running with reckless abandon against the Braves pitching staff and Brian McCann behind the plate.
Castro takes off, and he's in, and the throw gets past, allowing Castro to get to third. Some shaky defense by the Braves here in the bottom of the first, and the Cubs threatening.
Well, we talked about it in the ball game last night. McCann really sits back on his haunches like you would with nobody on base getting ready to receive a pitch, and when that runner breaks, he's a little slow getting into a throwing position. That time a lot of tail on that throw to second base, got away into shallow right center, allowing Castro to move on to third base with nobody out.
He gets a stolen base. And the error was charged to the shortstop, Alex Gonzalez. 3-2 to Barney. If he can make some contact here, he'll pick up an RBI, most likely.
Preferably contact on the ground. Braves are playing their infield defense back, conceding that early run. He's looking to get the first out of the bottom half of the inning here.
Castro will score as Gonzalez throws to first. Ground out and an RBI. Number 37 for Darwin Barney.
Nice piece of situational hitting. We mentioned the Braves playing their infield defense back. All you need to do is hit a ground ball at anybody other than the pitcher and you're going to get a run. That time Darwin Barney just played pepper with Alex Gonzalez at shortstop.
We've run out of adjectives to describe how hot this guy has been. Ramirez with a 13-game hitting streak, hitting .560 during the streak. At one point he reached base 9 consecutive plate appearances. He's gotten on 30 of his last 45 times at the plate. And a 5-hit game 2 nights ago was the first 5-hit game of his career. I asked him yesterday, did you know that was a new career high? He said, absolutely. He said, I usually get to 3 hits. I try to hit home runs.
Well, one of our favorite all-time albums is Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Right now, Ramos Ramirez is on the bright side of the sun. He is some kind of hot.
Although that song Money might be about him.
Yeah.
Starting to see his name all over the NL leaderboard as well. Eighth in the league in batting. Tied for 8th in RBIs. In the top 10 in total bases. Home batting average. Average versus righties. You keep going down the list. And a high fly ball to center. Michael Bourne shading his eyes and making the grab for out number 2.
Hey fans, the 27th annual Cubs convention will take place at the Hilton Chicago on January 13th, 14th, and 15th, 2012. Rooms are available now by calling the Hilton Chicago at 312-922-4400 and asking for the Cubs convention rate. Weekend passes will go on sale in early November. As always, for more information, visit Cubs.com.
Carlos Pena, whose name has been in the news this week. The Yankees reportedly put in a waiver claim on Pena, but the Cubs apparently have no interest in moving him. I think Carlos would like to be here well beyond the end of this season. He has enjoyed his time here and wants to be a Cub, regardless of the lack of success for this team this season. I think he'd like to ride it out and understands how special it is here when you do win. Two and two.
Well, and getting back to Ramirez for just a moment, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but it makes you wonder what kind of season Ramos would be having at this point had he gotten off to a faster start. He only had 2 home runs and 19 RBIs in April and May.
He had a high average, right?
Yeah, his average
he just
was
wasn't
high.
hitting for power.
Wasn't hitting for power. Wasn't driving in a lot of runs, which you expect him to do on a regular basis. Boy, if he had been swinging the bat anywhere near what he's done in the second half of the season for the first 2 months, you'd be talking about an MVP candidate.
No question. And Pena swings and misses. Could not hold up. Cubs do get one, however. It's 3-1 Atlanta after 1. A lot of action in the first inning. Braves 3, Cubs 1. We get into the second, and a special guest just dropped by. NASCAR superstar Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy, welcome to Wrigley Field.
This is amazing. You guys have a great view here, obviously. So
we are very fortunate.
Thanks for having me up, and fun day up here promoting the races that are going to take place at Chicagoland Speedway here in a couple weeks over September 16th to 18th. And had a chance to throw the first pitch out and enjoying a bit of the game.
Nice. Well, you picked a great day to be here, no question about it. So tell us about your season so far.
It's been eventful. I mean, we have 1 win, which is great, but we're used to having a few more at this point in the year. But without the wins like we would hope to have, we're still sitting there second in points and real close to Kyle Busch, who's leading right now. And we've got 3 more races left until our postseason starts, and we've got 10 races at that point to determine our champion. And the last 5 years have been awfully good to me, and I want to keep the streak alive.
Yeah. 5 in a row. First driver ever to do that, as Garza drops in a curveball on Jason Hayward for a strike.
Hey, did Kyle Busch lose any points for his speeding ticket the other day?
I don't think so. I think he lost a few bucks and has a bit of community service to work off, but I don't think he'll be doing that again anytime soon.
No.
Can you really tell it's a curveball from up here?
Generally, yes.
I've always wondered that.
Well, we'll watch.
Okay.
We'll watch and see if you can figure it out. The last one was a fastball. Yeah, that's kind of in the middle. That was a slider.
You have a trained eye.
Well, we can cheat a little. We can look at the monitor, too. But
Yeah.
after a while, you start to figure it out. There's the 1-2. Fastball, bounced back to the mound. Oh, Garza threw one about
fired one in there.
100 miles an hour to first.
That was a fastball.
That was.
He's had some throwing issues, but he was not going to lob it over there to his longtime teammate.
Boy, and Carlos Pena needs to put on some catcher's gear. He even takes a few extra crow hops before firing onto first base.
Wow.
So, Jimmy, any special challenges racing here in Chicago? I know Bristol is its own environment, a smaller track and everything, and I assume when you race in Phoenix it's very hot, but what about Chicago? Any special challenges?
Well, fly ball. Chicago is really a great track. It's where I won my first Nationwide Series race and helped kind of establish my career. So I come back with a smile on my face going to a familiar track that I had a lot of great memories at. But this track is a little different where the back straightaway isn't straight. It has a bit of a radius to it.
Garza makes a catch.
And the track has evolved through these brutal winters over the years, and it's bumpy and rough, and that really puts on a good show for us. So there's a handful of tracks that we go to that change every year dramatically, and we think we're going to come back to a much rougher surface, which is good. I think for Indy cars, it's probably a problem, but for our racing and NASCAR, it's a good thing to have that. We call it character in the racetrack.
Character, okay.
Here's a pitcher, Beachy, with 2 outs. Now, you live in Charlotte. Who's bigger in Charlotte, MJ or JJ? Talking Michael Jordan.
He's a lot taller than I am. I don't know. Our sport is so well received in Charlotte.
Yes, it is.
I'd have to say just about all but one race team is based there in the area, and the community supports as well.
Well, we hope to have you here to sing the stretch one of these days. But you can't say Wrigley Stadium like Jeff Gordon did. Just remember that.
You know, do you have that queued up anywhere? Because
we could probably find it, yes.
Please play it.
Hey, best of luck to you, okay? We look forward to the race coming up.
Thanks, guys.
Sponsored in part by Mega Millions and now Powerball from the Illinois Lottery. Friday's Mega Millions jackpot stands at $14 million, while Saturday's Powerball jackpot sits at $61 million.
Thanks to Jimmy Johnson for stopping by. Well, the Braves have been way too comfortable here at Wrigley Field over the last decade. They've gone 22-11 since 2001 here at Wrigley. They have a 3-1 lead as Brandon Beachy works in the bottom of the second. That run he gave up in the first inning was unearned because of the error by Alex Gonzalez. Reed Johnson gets a start in left. Alfonso Soriano's got a sore right forearm. He got hit by a pitch in the game last night. He is available off the bench. Soriano, by the way, with home runs in back-to-back games. You hate to take him out of the lineup when he's hot. Fastball is fouled back. But not a bad fill in, a guy hitting .347.
Yeah, what Reed Johnson has been able to do this year in limited playing time, sporadic playing time, let's put it that way, has really been remarkable. It's not that easy to sit for 2 or 3 days a week and then get a start here or there against a lefty or a good matchup that he's done well against in the past. Unfortunately, chases a bad pitch that time to get himself out, but Reed's had himself a real nice offensive year. Mentioned Beachy with the full complement of pitches. Hard slider that time just off of the outside corner. Usually you'll see the curve and the changeup to the left-handed hitters, mostly fastball slider to the righties.
Now the struggling Marlon Byrd. Just 5 for his last 31. He's made some excellent defensive plays, however, during this stretch. It's something he certainly prides himself on, no matter how he's doing at the plate. Pop foul, and this wind will push it even more foul. I guess it's fouler than it normally would be.
Flowler.
What was the John Lovitz line? There's a flowl. A foul fly is now a flowl. That was quite a day. He was antagonizing us from the other TV booth after he chatted with us, as Marlon Byrd sends it deep to left. Gone! Well, he needed that. His 7th of the year. And it's 3-2. First homer in 71 at bats, going back to August 2nd in Pittsburgh.
Big smile on Marlon Byrd's face. Why not? Man, that feels so good when you're a hitter and you catch one right on the button. That time a hanging slider right in the middle of the plate for Marlon. Quick swing results in a line drive into those left field bleachers.
'79 career homers for Marlon Byrd. And the 1-0 to Tyler Colvin. A little late, a ball and a strike.
That's a pitch that Tyler Colvin really needs to learn to lay off of. That high fastball up and out over the plate. It's so tempting to swing at, but so hard to catch up to. And that's the pitch he needs to swing at more often. The low fastball. He wears out low pitches. I think at this stage of his career, he's still trying to figure out who he is himself. But from what we've seen from Tyler, when he's been going well, he can handle a low fastball as good as anybody.
He drills that one. It was a breaking ball into the corner and right. He is thinking 3. That's a triple for Tyler Colvin.
One part of Tyler Colvin's game we don't talk about enough. He runs extremely well, long strides.
And safe at third, safe and secure, New York life.
Great opportunity now for Giovanni Soto with one out in the inning. Infield drawn in. Hard ground ball that's not right at a Braves defender. Should get through into the outfield for a base hit. A medium depth fly ball should score a run to the outfield.
Fastball is in tight. This is the key at bat with Matt Garza on deck. Breaking ball strike.
Gio has seen a lot of breaking pitches lately, especially the harder slider. Out there on that outside corner, he swung at a lot of pitches that have broken just off of the corner. Another slider, a little lower and further off the plate that time, hoping to get him to fish.
Curveball is high, 3-1. Beachy went to Indiana Wesleyan University, was a third baseman and pitched while in college. Led the minors last year with a 1.73 ERA. As I mentioned, his 20th start this season, as that one's tapped, and Soto will get the job done as he hit that ball about 75 feet. So the Cubs have scored 2 runs today on groundouts, and it's 3-3.
Not pretty, but it's effective. Randy Wells was able to drive home a run in the ball game last night on a broken bat chopper to the right side. Tony Campana streaking in last evening. Today it's Tyler Colvin getting on the plate to tie up the ball game.
So that helps out the guy at the plate who gave up that home run to McCann in the first inning. How about that throw to first? Have you seen a pitcher throw the ball harder than Matt Garza did? I give Pena a lot of credit for catching it. Swing and a miss to end the inning. It's always eventful when Matt Garza's on the mound. Look at that fastball. Chef Dave just brought in a lot of good eats. We've got Eisenberg Italian sausage, Fontanini Italian sausage, and High Plains Bison Italian sausage. I have to try all three.
Well, there's actually 6 of them here.
Well, there's one of each, 2 of each, I should say. You going to dig in here?
I think I'll wait till between innings and power eat.
Looks good.
Smells better. And it will definitely taste better after the Cubs were able to come back and tie up this ball game with the solo home run off the bat of Marlon Byrd, a triple by Colvin, a ground out by Soto. New ball game for Matt Garza.
Well, Garza facing this order for the 2nd time today. A strike on a heater to Bourne. Curve missed. I think Garza wanted it, didn't get it from Marty Foster. Chopper off the plate. Kicks to Brian Snitker, their third base coach, looking for the one fan who hasn't been heckling him.
Brian Snitker, one of those guys with baseball in his blood. 17 seasons as a minor league manager.
Been in the Braves systems dating back to 1977. Garza's been right around the plate. He tries to put away Michael Bourne. But he can't as Bourne singles into right. Boy, Garza's really upset.
A couple borderline pitches in that sequence he thought he should have gotten from home plate umpire Marty Foster. Ultimately, Bourne with that soft liner over the head of Darwin Barney into right field. Now you really got to pay some attention to Michael Bourne over there at first base.
Watch Garza's reaction. Yep. So he'll try to shake it off here and go after Martin Prado, who reached on an error by Garza in the 1st inning. I should mention the Eisenberg Italian sausage is sold at concession locations throughout Wrigley Field. The Fontanini Italian also sold at concession stands here at Wrigley Field. And the High Plains Bison Italian sausage is available in the United Club and PNC Club. You might want to try that one, Bob. It has a whole wheat bun.
Oh, good. You know, I'm all about health food.
Yes. This will warm us up for our Milwaukee Brat tour. One and one the count.
And not a lot of signs given with Michael Bourne over there at first base. I would assume that he has the green light to run whenever he feels he can get a jump. And Brian Snitker, the third base coach, probably tells him when they do not want him to run.
Up the middle, Castro will field, and he dropped it. It looked like he was thinking about flipping it to Barney before he really had it.
And one thing at a time. Talk about the defensive flow, especially for those middle infielders. But the first thing you have to do is come up with the baseball. I agree with you. I think Starlin was thinking about that backhanded toss on to Barney. Just never really got a handle on the baseball.
Fielder's choice for Prado and an error on Castro. Well, it's been a sloppy game for both teams on defense. Then Garza's in the same spot he found himself in right off the bat, 2 on with Brian McCann at the plate. He started that at bat 2-0. This time Garza gets the first pitch in for a strike. Long home run to right center.
It's not unusual to see a sloppy ball game, a day game after a night game, getaway day for both teams. 3 consecutive night games to start this series here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then a quick turnaround back to the ballpark early this morning.
Freddie Gonzalez in his first year as a Braves manager. 5th overall. Filling huge shoes. Bobby Cox retiring after last season. But he has the Braves leading the wild card by a bunch. 8.5.
Freddie's really going to have to pick up the pace if he wants to fill Bobby Cox's shoes. He's only been ejected 3 times this year.
Which actually is a lot for Freddie, but not for Bobby. Big rip by McCann. Clearly seeing the ball well today. That home run in the first inning was his first hit of this series after starting 0 for 11. Dan Uggla's on deck. He has cooled off a little bit over the last couple of days.
I'll tell you, Len, before that first inning home run, the Cubs have done a nice job against Brian McCann. In his career against the Cubs, he's only a 180 hitter. And here at Wrigley Field, I had it a moment ago, 164.
Ryan Dempster looks on as Garza deals on a 2-2. McCann went after the high one and was able to get a piece. Andy Wells has always had good success against the Braves, going 2-0 against them this season, as he got the win last night. Just 2 hits allowed as he went into the 7th.
As good as we've seen Randy Wells going all the way back to Mesa this spring.
3-2. See what Freddie Gonzalez has in mind. Nobody out. A 3-2 count on McCann. Runners not going, and they're loaded. And Garza's a little more animated. Wanted that pitch. Bases loaded, nobody out. Maybe more upset at himself.
Yeah, just didn't make a good pitch right there. I think he had McCann fooled with that breaking pitch, just couldn't get it back to that outside corner.
This is a difficult spot for Matt Garza. Dan Uggla has hit 4 homers against the Cubs this season. On his hands, and he fouls off. Couple of notes from Elias on his 33-game hitting streak that ended against the Cubs in Atlanta. He had exactly 1 hit in 22 of those games. It's the 3rd highest total for any player during a hitting streak of any length. Of course, it would have to be at least 22 games.
At least 22.
He hit 15 home runs. That tied the record for most homers during any hitting streak. Joe DiMaggio hit 15 during his 56-gamer. Willie McCovey during a 24-gamer in 1963, and Alex Rodriguez hit 15 during a 23-game hitting streak. Mark Riggins is going to head out to the mound. And hey, Cub fans, if you want to manage the game along with Mike Quaddy, log on to WGNTV.com right now and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more. Well, there are times in a ball game where a starter has to make a pitch, and this would be that time for Matt Garza. His team got him back into the game 3-3. But their cleanup man's at the plate with the bases loaded. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Now can he make another pitch? You try to make one, then you got to make another, and then you got to make another.
Uggla did him a favor there, chasing a low slider out of the zone down. Boy, if you go to 3-1 on Dan Uggla, 3-1 rather, let him start that bat a little early. That's when bad things start to happen. That was a big pitch.
Slider, he laid off that one to make it 3-2. Freddie Freeman on deck. Walked in a run. Bob, this is as animated as I think we've seen him all year. I mean, he again is very intense. But it just doesn't look right. Trying to calm himself down here.
Well, sometimes when a pitcher leaves that bullpen before the ball game and feels like he's got good stuff and then goes out to the mound and can't consistently execute his pitches, that's when occasionally you'll see the emotions take over. I think Matt Garza realizes he's got good stuff today. He's just not able to consistently keep it around the edges of the strike zone.
Two and 0. And again, I really think as Ramon Ortiz starts to throw that it is why he works so slowly, to try to keep things as calm as possible. That has been a big challenge today. Looked like Freeman swung at ball 3 as he fouled that one off down the left field line. Two and 2.
Garza seems to have Freddie Freeman's number. He's really tied him in knots both times he's faced him this year. Freeman has struck out 3 of the 4 at bats he's had against Garza.
Young kid eating a peach here at the ballpark. Another full count, 3-2. Garza kind of pitching for his life in terms of this game. He can't get it together here soon. He might be out. And that's a base hit into right. They'll go station to station as Prado scores. It's 5-3 with Alex Gonzalez coming up. Still nobody out.
Freeman finally breaks through against Matt Garza with a soft liner into right field. He's keeping that line moving for the Braves. You do not want to fall too far behind Atlanta. We've talked at length about their bullpen in this series, how good they've been, how they can shorten a game to 6 or 7 innings with the 2 guys they have at the tail end. Got to stop the bleeding right here.
Shallow center. McCann ready to tag, but I don't think he's going anywhere. He's not. That's the first out.
Former teammates and current teammates. Carlos Pena probably knows Matt Garza as well as anybody. Probably just trying to reassure him, one good pitch right here, we're out of this inning and still in the ball game.
Jason Hayward already with 1 grand slam in this series, a first of his career. It was on Tuesday night. In that game, 23-year-old Mike Minor got the win. 23-year-old Craig Kimbrell got the save. 22-year-old Jason Hayward hit the grand slam. According to Elias, it was the first time since the major leagues instituted the save rule in 1969 in which 3 teammates 23 or younger got a win, save, and a grand slam in the same game. Bert Hooton with the Cubs. Swing and a miss. He got Hayward. Got a win and hit a grand slam in 1972. And the game saved by Bill Bonham, who was 23 at the time. Good pitch. Four strikeouts for Garza. Here's Constanza, the number 8 hitter, back in the lineup for the first time since Monday. And he sprained his ankle.
Stay hydrated.
That says it all right there. He's just trying to take a deep breath. Stay calm as he tries to get out of this inning with only 2 runs allowed. Flip to Barney. We're going to enjoy some Fontanini Italian sausage. Make sure you check out our WGN baseball blog on WGNTV.com. I have a post on the rampant general manager speculation as the Cubs will hire a new GM within the next few months. We have game notes from stats and much more at WGNTV.com. Brandon Beachy working with his second lead of this game. Could not hold a 3-0 edge. Now it's 5-3. Oh, nice play as he robs Castro of a hit. Can save yourself some hassle on the mound if you can field your position well.
No question about it, Len. Not only that, but it will allow the middle infielders to play a little wider than they might normally. If they have confidence that that pitcher is going to catch everything hit his direction, the second baseman and shortstop can cheat a step or two toward the hole on both sides of the infield.
Well, we said he was third baseman in college. He's used to having those quick reflexes. Backhanded by Prado, and he'll get Barney. A couple of hard hit balls for outs to start this Cubs third.
We're talking about quick reflexes at third base. Martin Prado, who's been in left field in this series, moves in to fill in for Chipper Jones today and makes a real nice play down there, almost in self-defense. Fielded that one off to the right side, throws in plenty of time to get Darwin Barney.
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball by Aramis Ramirez, who flied to center his first time up. I'd say a pretty solid candidate for the NL Player of the Week. The week is not over yet. He's had quite a start. already on the homestand, going back to the end of last week, 13 for 21.
That's one thing we've noticed about Aramis Ramirez in his time here in Chicago. He will occasionally chase a pitch in the dirt, occasionally chase a pitch off the plate away, but rarely will he chase a pitch up out of the strike zone.
Swing and a miss as Beachy goes 1-2-3 in the third. 5-3 Braves. I want to give a big thank you and wish the best of luck to our WGN Sports intern Kristen Lamb, who will be heading back to Boston College for the fall semester. Thanks for all the great work, Kristen.
And the cupcakes.
And the cupcakes. Brought some cupcakes for the big occasion. Brandon Beachy leading 5-3 and leading off here in the fourth. Well, the Phillies and Marlins, I guess, will play a day-nighter on Saturday because of the impending Hurricane Irene. Five strikeouts for Garza.
The McDonald's Daily Double is back for just $1.89, but you don't have to remember it to love it. Prices and participation may vary for a limited time, a la carte only.
Michael Bourne is 3 for 3, and he continues to beat up on Matt Garza. He's red hot here at Wrigley Field as well. Against Garza, he's now 10 for 17.
Jeez. Hitting 400 here at the friendly confines. They've been very friendly to Michael Bourne.
That doubleheader, by the way, is in Philadelphia. So the originally scheduled game on Sunday becomes part of a day-nighter on Saturday. So as Bourne takes off, and he is out. Giovanni Soto nails him at second base. Well, it always feels good to get the Major League steals leader.
A mistake that time on the part of Michael Bourne. He kind of spun his wheels over there as he crossed over and broke for second base. Didn't get the great jump. Strong throw by Soto, right on the money. Good quick tag by Castro, and they just do get Michael Bourne.
So 2 outs, and it's Prado, who has reached twice without a hit. Got on via an error in the first, a fielder's choice in the third, and he has scored 2 runs.
I was kind of surprised to see Bourne keep going, Len. Those premier base stealers, they know when they have a good jump and they know when they do not have a good jump. We've seen Tony Campana do it repeatedly this year, where he crosses over, takes a step or two, realizes he didn't get a good jump, slam on the brakes and get back to first base. But that time Bourne tried to run through the slip, and Giovanni Soto made him pay.
Prado checked his swing, ball caught the bat. Yeah, the East Coast is going to get hit hard this weekend by a lot of rain at the very least. And the Braves will be in New York. And there was some thought about a doubleheader for them on Saturday, but it sounds like they may just play single games Friday, Saturday, and if they don't play Sunday, they would make that game up later in the schedule. I think the Mets have another doubleheader on Monday. Prado with a nice piece of hitting down in the count. He's on his way towards second, and he's going to get in. That's a double.
You see the scattering of pitches there against Martin Prado. Got way out in front of a breaking ball that time, but really extended his swing, was able to get the end of the bat on it and find that left field corner for a double.
McCann with a 3-run homer and a walk. And a fortuitous bounce toward third base, which kept Prado at second.
Yeah, even if that ball gets a considerable distance away from the catcher, if it's rolling up the third baseline and the catcher is chasing that ball up the third baseline, you just can't risk it as a runner at second. Too easy of a pick and throw when that ball's rolling right toward your target.
On the ground, diving stop, Barney from his knees, inning over. Well, we highlighted Darwin Barney's defense on the leadoff man, and he comes through again here in the fourth. And today we recognize Smith Motors of Lowell for its support of Crown Point Little League. Smith Motors of Lowell and your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers support leagues and young ball players in their communities through the Chevy Youth Baseball program. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball. Home half of the fourth, Pena, Johnson, and Bird, the middle three. In the Cubs order, they overshift as per usual on the infield against Pena. There's a changeup in there for a strike. A little similarity between Brandon Beachy and Randy Wells in terms of their windup. Pena lays down the bunt, and he'll be safe by a mile. Second time in as many days he's done that against the shift.
Such a great weapon for Carlos Pena to beat that exaggerated pull shift, especially when he's leading off an inning. Same situation, he did it in the ball game last night. Nearly an impossible play for the third baseman or shortstop, whoever happens to be manning that left side of the infield, coming in at that angle to pick up the ball and then throw back across your body to first base.
Pena chatting with Bob Dernier down at first base before taking his lead. Big swing by Johnson. He fouled it back. They were delayed in New York today, but now underway. It's 4-1 Oakland in the top of the third inning. Rich Harden, former Cubs, on the mound for the A's. Phil Hughes has been roughed up a bit. Yankees are one back of the Red Sox. Baltimore leads at Minnesota 6-1 in the top of the ninth. Mark Reynolds with a 3-run homer is 29th of the year. Detroit 2, Tampa Bay nothing, bottom of the ninth. Jose Valverde is on. He tries to make it 38 out of 38 in save chances. Trying to save it for Doug Fister. And if you're looking for a Reds Marlins score today, that game was played yesterday. Played a doubleheader instead of trying to play today. Popped up by Johnson as Pena was running, and it'll get back to the seats. Obviously, when the Marlins get their new ballpark that'll come equipped with a retractable roof, they'll be able to play through the thunderstorms and just the frequent rain that occurs in South Florida. The one thing it won't do, though, is stop possible postponements because of impending hurricanes. That's a very dangerous situation just to be out and about.
Yeah, you just don't want people out on the streets and around the ballpark trying to get to the venue itself. That happened in Houston at the Astrodome one time. They had such a large amount of rain in a short period of time that people couldn't get to the ballpark. They had to cancel the game even though it was a dome.
3 years ago, the Astros played the Cubs in Milwaukee because of a hurricane. Another foul by Reed Johnson. I do hear, by the way, that we will be very impressed with that new ballpark. Already getting rave reviews. Swing and a miss. Pena's safe as Uggla kind of overran the bag. Well, if Uggla's right there on the base, they're going to get Pena for a strike him out, throw him out. But as it is, he picks up the theft, and it's his first as a Cub.
Once again, McCann really sitting back on his haunches, letting that ball come to him. Dan Uggla a little late getting to the bag at second, and he's on the move. Can't stop his momentum in time to get the tag down. Pena slides to the outfield side of the bag and is in safely.
It almost looked like Uggla made a calculated risk that Johnson was going to either put it in play or walk. But he wouldn't swing and miss.
Well, based on the two swings before, that's what Reed was trying to do.
Yeah.
Shoot that hole in the right side. The new Bud Light Bleacher Series provides fans with exciting new opportunities in the Bud Light bleachers this season, including free T-shirt Mondays, $3 12-ounce draft Bud and Bud Light Tuesday nights, and $1 Vienna beef hot dog Wednesdays. Tuesday night special is also available in select locations in the seating bowl. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. I guess she doesn't love us anymore.
Tyler Colvin with Tony Campana at second. Carlos Pena with a bunt single and a stolen base.
That makes you think of Tony Campana.
Yes, it does. Cubs are 6 for 6 in stolen base opportunities in this series. All with Brian McCann behind the plate. We have not seen David Ross, the backup. Pitching coach Roger McDowell chatting with the skipper. So when you take your lead off third, got to be in foul ground.
The Bird on third. Call that a walking lead?
There's a foul ball, F-O-W-L.
Get back, get back. You're going to get picked off.
See, the Cubs have a batting order. That bird has a pecking order. Not sure why he's playing in 2 strikes on Colvin.
That defense is not his specialty.
There's the Cubs bird. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Cubs left 1, maybe 2 if you count the bird. 5-3.
Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete information and rules.
Great to have you along with us today. And we'll take this WGN Sports show on the road the next 2 nights in Milwaukee. Brewers off today, having won 24 of 29. They have a 10-game lead in the NL Central. And we'll have the games Friday and Saturday night right here on WGN. Dan Uggla took a bases loaded walk in the 3rd for his 67th run batted in. 30 homers. He's the first second baseman to do it 5 times as he drills that ball out off the wall, and it's going to be a single. And he will hold at first. He banged that one off the wall in left center, and Marlon Byrd wheeled and fired it back in.
That ball was smoked. A little bit of topspin on that line drive. Marlon plays the carom just perfectly with the bare hand. Gets the ball back into the infield quickly, holding Dan Uggla at first base. Can't play it any better than that.
Looked like Castro thought Uggla was trying to get to second, and that's why he let that ball go.
Well, that first cutoff man is really dependent on the guy behind him. Starlin Castro really doesn't have the luxury of turning and looking over his shoulder to see what the runner's doing. It's incumbent upon the second baseman, occasionally the third baseman, depending on who the trailer is on that play, to let the cutoff man know either to let the ball go or cut it off. Castro, or rather Darwin Barney, did have enough time to take a peek at Uggla.
1-on-1 to Freddie Freeman. And we want to send out happy 95th birthday wishes to Grace Boliva from Springfield, Illinois. Always watches Cubs baseball. Happy birthday wishes go out to Laura Rice. Albina Rogers and her daughter are here at the game today. But Albina's husband Ed is back home watching. There's a base hit into left. And a little bobble there, and Uggla's going to try to take an extra base, and he will. So that'll be a single and an error on Reed Johnson. 3 errors by the Cubs today.
Freeman with an inside out swing just flips that ball into left field. Very routine looking play. Reed just took his eye off the ball momentarily. It hit him in the thumb of the glove instead of the pocket, and that's all the time Dan Uggla needed to advance on to third base. Very cautious base running by Freddie Freeman, the hitter on that play. Probably should have been on second base.
So Mark Riggins out, and while we have a chance to step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Cubs with 3 errors today, matching their total over their previous 9 games. Veteran lefty John Grabo is up. So again, a shout out to Ed Rogers watching in New Haven, Indiana today. It's from your wife Albina. Tap foul by Gonzalez. Happy belated birthday wishes to Cole Kramer, Goshen, Indiana.
Also happy belated anniversary to our good buddy Tommy Dare and his wife Arlene, celebrating their 51st anniversary on the 20th. We weren't on the air that day, didn't have an opportunity to wish Tommy and Arlene a great day, but we'll do it here today.
You did, it just wasn't broadcast. Foul. Hit hard by Gonzalez. Slider misses upstairs. 2-2. Got a nice note from Paul Kinney from Blue River, Wisconsin. Longtime Cub fan. Recently turned 80. Got his first radio out of a Cracker Jack box when he was 10.
Really? It's a lot better than the temporary tattoos, the other plastic gadgets that you get in Cracker Jack boxes now. A radio.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gonzalez upset with himself as he strikes out. 6 for Garza.
Boy, and a big one right there. Sets up the possibility of a double play getting out of this jam. Blew a low heater right past Alex Gonzalez.
We saw a gentleman with the chicken on his head. The chicken apparently has remained at Wrigley and is on somebody else's. First and third with one out as Hayward pops it foul. Send out best wishes to Jack Solner. Now lives in Nashville, lifelong Cub fan. Dealing with some health issues, but we're thinking about you today, Jack. A struggle today for Garza. Inside 1-2. Been in several different jams. And they've all happened with nobody out. The first, the third, and the fifth. Multiple base runners with no outs. Fly ball hit to left. This should get Ugla in no problem. Johnson's throw goes towards second. Ugla scores. It's a sacrifice fly for Jason Hayward to make it 6-3. So they have their 3-run lead back.
Well, we've talked about the sophomore struggles of Jason Hayward this year, and more than anything else, it just seems like he's a little late this year. Last year, if he had a mistake pitch on the inside part of the plate, he showed a lightning quick swing and pulled that ball hard to right center or right field. Really having some issues getting that bat head out in front of home plate. Every ball we've seen him hit hard this season has been to the opposite field.
Well, he had a left thumb injury last year, put him on the DL. This year, some right shoulder soreness. Reed Johnson on the run, retires Constanza. They add a run, and it's now 6-3 in the fifth.
By Bud Light Lime, just the right taste of Bud Light with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor.
England says go, Cubs go. Got the color scheme right.
Yeah.
Well, the Cubs have committed 3 errors today. That has led to 3 unearned runs. 4 unearned total as the Braves have allowed 1. And a strike on Giovanni Soto. Tony Campana will hit for Matt Garza. He's on deck.
A record-setting day for the Cubs on this day in baseball history, Len. Looking back to 1922, the Cubs led the Phillies 25-6 in the 4th inning. Well, in the 9th, the Phillies had the bases loaded. The score was 26-23 before the final out was finally recorded. An all-time record in Major League Baseball for combined runs by 2 teams in a single 9-inning game.
Could you imagine Ron Santo calling that game?
Oh, my. You feel pretty good at 26-5 in the 4th inning.
Well, you probably exhaust your bench, get your starters out of there. Call strike 3 to get Soto. And here is Campana. Jose Valverde did it. Scoreless 9th, walked 1, and got his 38th save at as many chances this year. Detroit 2-0 over Tampa Bay.
Pulled 7 different muscles celebrating after that big save.
Well, he talks the talk, so to speak, but
Yes,
he walks it too.
Yes, he does.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. When you play the Wheel of Fortune instant game from the Illinois Lottery, you could win one of 5 top prizes of $250,000 or one of over 52,000 additional prizes, ranging from $50 to $1,000 instantly. Eight strikeouts already for Brandon Beachy,
including 4 of the last 5 hitters for the Cubs, going all the way back to Reed Johnson. Also got Tyler Colvin to end that 4th inning, and now the first 2 here in the 5th.
Well, he struck out 8 on August 14th. The Braves that day would strike out 18 Cubs, but the Cubs won it 6-5. And a big home run by Carlos Pena in the 7th. Cubs committed 4 errors that day and won.
And gave up 5 stolen bases.
That was one of the stranger ones.
Yes, it was.
How about the game Monday here? The Cubs stranded 15 in a 9-inning game and didn't score. They got shut out. That is very, very difficult to do. Get that many guys on base and not get a run. A pop-up. Freeman. Oh, wow, he caught it in foul territory. Nicely done by Freddie Freeman.
Well, welcome to the ball game, Kayla. We're glad you're here.
John Gravo's the new Cub pitcher. 2 quick strikes on Brandon Beachy. Struck out twice against Matt Garza. Fly ball sending Marlon Byrd back. And he has it. Stroll through the home of the Cubs to get an insider's look at more than 97 years of history in this legendary ballpark. Guided tours may include visits to the press box, clubhouses, and dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. For more information or to purchase tickets, go to Cubs.com. Tour sizes are limited and sell out fast, so get your tickets today. A lot of big groups taking tours throughout this homestand. Bourne went 3 for 3 against the Cubs starter today. Off the plate inside, 3-1. Time now for the Cubs' upcoming schedule, brought to you by Lincoln. It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that. Feel smarter at Lincoln.com. We're on at 7 o'clock on WGN tomorrow night. Join us at 5:30 for the leadoff man on Saturday. Finally get Michael Bourne for the first time. And on a rooftop, but they're actually watching from a building across the street. Actually, they're watching us.
Very wise people in that building.
Inside again to Prado. 2 balls, no strikes. Carlos Beltran in his first homer as a Giant last night in their 2-1 win over the Padres. Mentioned San Francisco's 2 back of the Diamondbacks in the NL West. So late August in San Francisco, I did pack a couple of light jackets just in case. This next trip.
Time of year you're never quite sure in San Francisco. Usually the last month of the season. The month of September is usually really nice. Almost feels like an Indian summer. Very calm evenings, very warm, balmy temperatures, but you never know.
Prado takes a 2-out walk.
That was the thing that was so deceiving about playing for the San Francisco Giants. April, May, June, July, August, you would freeze to death out there at night. Day games would be windy and cold as well. And then the month of September would be absolutely beautiful. And that would be your last memory going home for the off season. Telling yourself, well, it's not so bad at Candlestick Park. And then you come back in April and remember that, yes, it is bad here.
The Cubs will not have to face Brian Wilson in that series. He's on the DL with right elbow inflammation. Inside corner, late call by Marty Foster. 0-2. They have Prado out at second. It'll go 1-3 to 6. 6-3 Atlanta.
Shot of the game. It's pretty hard not to get a great shot of Wrigley Field on a glorious day like this on the north side of Chicago. Cubby blue sky, lots of sunshine, green grass, and big league baseball. Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast.
See if the Cubs can erase another 3-run deficit. They did it early, getting back to even in the second, but now trail 6-3. Barney's grounded out twice. He did not get a run with one of those in the first. Gonzalez gets rid of it quickly. One away. Follow the Cubs with the MLB.com at Bat11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Cubs.com for details. One and one to Ramirez, whose 13-game hitting streak is on the line. Including today, the Cubs have 13 games left here at Wrigley this season. They're 5 away from 4,000 regular season wins in this ballpark, and when they get there, they'll become the 3rd franchise to do that in one ballpark. The Red Sox with 4,424 victories at Fenway Park, and the Yankees won 4,133 times at the old Yankee Stadium. Hard hit ground ball right to Martin Prado. Two down. It'll bring up Carlos Pena. Pena ready, so here's a pitch from Beachy. It's low, ball one. How do you think the Braves stack up with the Phillies and the Brewers and Giants and Diamondbacks, some of the other playoff contenders we've seen?
I mean, really the only glaring weakness I see with the Braves is possibly their inability to control a running game. So if they happen to match up against a team that has some aggressive base runners, aggressive base stealers, I think it might be tougher for the Braves. But once again, you get to the postseason, it's usually all about finding a way to score a run, timely hitting, and how good is your bullpen. And the Braves have as good a bullpen as anybody in the game right now.
Payne is safe at first after the head first slide. So he hits it into the shift for a base hit.
Nice play by Ugla to get to that ball. Makes a strong throw to Brandon Beachy covering first. Not quite sure why Carlos went in on his belly, but all's well that ends well. Safe at first with a 2-out base hit. Well, that exaggerated pull shift will give you some unusual looking defensive plays.
Johnson has fanned twice. Well, we mentioned this briefly last night, but certainly bears repeating to honor the life and career of your former teammate Mike Flanagan. There is an update. His death has been ruled a suicide by the Maryland Medical Examiner today. His body was found yesterday on his property in Maryland. 59 years old. Mike Flanagan won the Cy Young in 1979 and also helped the Orioles win the World Series in 1983. And boy, a lot of the comments and sentiments that you mentioned last night have been echoed throughout baseball. A lot of people calling him the funniest guy they ever ran into in this game.
He really was. I mean, the game of baseball, besides competing on the field and trying to win a World Series, trying to win individual awards, for most guys it comes down to camaraderie, the friends you make in the game, the experiences you have with your teammates. And I just consider myself fortunate to be a teammate of Mike Flanagan's for a short amount of time. What a guy.
Ugla can't get it, just off the edge of his glove. Pena races around to third. Well, Carlos Pena's played a little man's game today, hasn't he?
Yeah, you called him Tony Campana by mistake earlier. He's playing the Tony Campana game today. Reached on a bunt, stole a base, slides head first into first, and now goes first to third on a little floater into shallow right center field.
The tying run is at the plate, and a guy who hit a home run back in the second inning, Marlon Byrd.
Let's take a look at our BMW Ultimate Drive of the game. Mentioned the Marlon Byrd home run, his 7th of the season. The line drive variety into the bleachers in left field. Brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana BMW dealers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
High pop-up.
Sunning.
Yep, it is. But Uggla's able to locate it. 2 2-out hits, no runs off to the 7th. 6-3 Braves. Double vision by Chicago's own the Ponies. That's our Bud fan cam. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. I hear the donkeys are in town too. Donkeys and the Ponies.
Government mule.
McCann bounces that foul into his own dugout. Susan Tedeschi, Grammy award-winning singer and guitarist, also in town for a Tedeschi Trucks Band performance at the Chicago Theater, and she'll conduct the 7th inning stretch. Hammer to deep left. Johnson is back, and it's gone as Brian McCann has homered twice today, and it's 7-3.
It's the first hit in 6 at-bats for Brian McCann against John Grabo. Came on a high fastball up and out over the plate. And McCann is known for his pull power. You rarely see him hit the ball this way to the opposite field, but just tucks it into the basket out there in straightaway left.
Third time he's hit a couple of homers in a game this season, the 8th time in his career. Another left-hander, James Russell, is up. 1-2 to Dan Uggla. Swing and a miss, strike 3, as we step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Well, Brian McCann locked in today. A couple of homers, a walk. Oh, that was up and in. It was a slider. It didn't slide, and Freddie Freeman had to duck out of the way. Diving stop, Carlos Pena. The flip, the out. Nicely done.
Great diving stop by Carlos Pena at first base, saving extra bases right there. That ball looked like it was ticketed for the right field corner. Smash off the bat of Freddie Freeman with a lot of topspin, but Pena gets to it, shovels onto John Grabo, who barely beats Freeman to the bag.
Ground ball is short. Castro will throw out Alex Gonzalez. Stretch time.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Grammy Award-winning singer and guitarist Susan Tedeschi.
All right, fans, let me hear you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back, 'cause it's root, root, root for the Cubbies. They don't win, it's a shame, 'cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Go Cubs!
Well, Rodis Vizcaíno, 20-year-old right-hander, is on to face Tyler Colvin. Cubs trailing 7-3. Great to have with us Susan Tedeschi in the booth, Grammy Award-winning singer and guitar player. And you heard her voice. That was as eloquent as it gets.
Aww.
That was awesome.
That was a blast. What an honor to be here at Wrigley Field. You know, I grew up with Fenway Park, so this is always one of my favorites in the whole world. So it's an honor to be here at Wrigley today. Beautiful weather. Playing against the Braves, my husband's favorite team, actually, which I'm rooting for the Cubs today, I told him.
Yeah, we had a shot of you and your husband Derek last night, and he had a Braves hat on, I believe.
That's right.
It's good to know that you evened it out by rooting for the Cubs.
I had to, you know, got to keep it fair. But yeah, we're excited. We're playing the Chicago Theater tonight, and we're in town just for tonight. But we're going to be in the Midwest this week. We're playing Milwaukee, I think, September 2nd. So we're in the area, and it's such an honor to be here. My husband actually is the hugest baseball fan, and he has a great uncle who actually pitched in the 1945 World Series.
Would that be Virgil?
It is.
Really?
Virgil Trucks.
I wondered if there was any relation
against
there.
the Cubs.
That'd be darn.
And he actually pitched here in 1945 and lost to the Cubs in that game, but he didn't have the loss.
Now that's Derek's grandfather?
His grandfather's cousin.
Okay.
First
Grandfather's
cousin.
first cousin.
That's right.
There you go. We tie it all together.
So, a lot of history here. It's amazing.
Here's the 2-2 to Tyler Colvin, and it's just outside on a fastball.
So how is it working and traveling with your husband? I know you guys played a lot together with Soul Stew Review, but now this is kind of a regular thing, right?
It is. Yeah. The Tedeschi Trucks Band, our new album is called Revelator.
Sure.
And it's been amazing. We're out with an 11-piece band. We have 2 amazing drummers and, 3 horns, 2 singers. Here comes the pitch.
Go ahead. You want to call it? Fly to left, and it's caught.
So, yeah, it's amazing being out with my husband. I don't have to be on the cell phone all the time. I actually get to see him every day. And we have 2 kids, and they come out with us on weekends if they can, or, in the summer they come out with us. But, yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing time.
And you make your home in Florida, so you're glad to be anywhere but Florida right now, right?
Amen. This is cool. This weather is nice and cool. But hi, kids. Hi, Charlie. I know he's at home watching. And my daughter, Sophia. Hi.
I want to ask you, performed recently on the Tonight Show and on Conan O'Brien's show. How much rehearsal do you get during the day? Do you just get to do the song a couple of times before you do it live?
Yeah, it's very, very simple. You go in and, the crew has to get there early and set up. But we get to go in and run the song a couple times, and then they block it. And then we wait around all day. And then it's our turn, and we go out there for about 4 or 5 minutes. So it's amazing. Yeah, it's fun.
You got to be on your game. You can't warm up.
No.
It's not like song 5. It's like, here you go.
And it's all. You got to put it all out there. One chance.
Blake DeWitt is batting in the pitcher's spot. We'll see Russell in the 8th.
I really like watching your guy Castro hit. He's really quite a hitter.
Yeah, we've grown to like to watch him hit too. He's a really good young player. Really good young player.
He's really fun. I love the rookies and the younger guys. They just have so much potential in some of the things they do.
Our crew is great.
There's Virgil
there
Trucks.
He is. He looks like a Trucks. That is wonderful.
A couple of no-hitters 1 year.
Yep. He's actually the oldest living pitcher with 2 no-hitters.
Well, Susan, thanks for the time. We appreciate you stopping by and look forward to your show tonight at the Chicago Theater.
Well, thank you so much. It's an honor. Thank you so much, guys.
than the between innings activity here at Wrigley.
Here's James Russell. John Grabo filled up his line, 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 1 home run. Hayward with a slicing fly ball, and it's caught by Reed Johnson, streaking into the left field corner.
Boy, that is not an easy play for Reed Johnson. That ball slicing off the bat of a left-handed hitter. The wind continues to blow in, pushing it further away, but Reed stayed with it, tracking it all the way. Never took his eye off that ball, able to make a nice running catch down in the corner.
Constanza 0 for 3. Hits the first pitch on the ground to Darwin Barney, who booted it. He was backpedaling just a little bit, which is sometimes a recipe for trouble. And the Cubs with 4 errors today.
I'm sure this play, Darwin Barney will tell you he should make in his sleep. Just a couple of steps to his left, but backed up to get the bigger hop and misplayed it off the heel of his glove.
You know, I'm reminded of the great speech that Jeff Santo gave when the Cubs unveiled the statue of his father Ron recently. He said, when I played, I always played the ball. Don't ever let the ball play you. And it was certainly an allegory about his life. But on the baseball field, that's generally true as well. You can make that play when you're backing up, but when you get an extra hop, and it can be pretty tricky. Brooks Conrad lines it foul.
You know, Len, we're big fans of having a good time and doing something good at the same time. And fans, you're going to have that opportunity this Saturday night at 8 o'clock at the Abbey Pub. The Towns, the band The Towns, are going to play. Tickets are $15, and 100% of the proceeds go to Special Olympics, the Danny Did Fund. This is something that's very easy to do. You're going to have a great time, and all the proceeds go to the Special Olympics. Once again, this Saturday night, 8 o'clock at the Abbey Pub.
It's a great venue, too. Conrad, a switch hitter, batting righty against the southpaw Russell. And a block by Soto. We'll check in with our Facebook friends. Kathy Elrod watching the game today. Get well soon, Kathy. And a special happy birthday wish to Roger Eby. Happy birthday to Wendy Griffiths, and a special anniversary wish goes out to Jim and Jenny Tianis. Great swing by Conrad and hit foul out of play. Wendy, I'd like to tell you that you'll get more in terms of a birthday present from your husband Wynn, but that may be it. So you might want to record that. No, Wynn is very generous and loves his wife. What's your standard gift after a road trip again? Any soap bars?
Wrapped soap, shampoo, conditioner, body lotion, occasionally a sewing kit, and the ever popular shower cap.
What about a plastic garment bag, laundry bag?
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's what you carry it all home in. That's the wrapping paper.
2 on with 1 out. And here's Michael Bourne.
And occasionally one of those pillow mints if there happens to be any left over at the end of the road trip.
Bourne started the day at 299, now up to 303. And while we tend to focus as much, if not more, on players on base average versus his batting average, don't think it's unimportant to these guys what their batting average is. 300 versus 299 is a big deal.
Now, when your average starts with a 3 on the back of that bubblegum card, that's something you can point to forever.
Hey fans, check out the new Cubs Kids Club presented by ComEd, the official kids club of the Chicago Cubs. Help your favorite young Cub fan earn his or her pinstripes as a member of the Cubs Kids Club, and they'll get kid specific perks, experiences, and merchandise throughout the season. Visit Cubs.com to sign up today as Bourne singles. Throw to the plate, little late. It's his 4th knock of the day. And he makes it 8-3, scoring Constanza, and another unearned run for the Braves. That's 19 hits in this ballpark this season for Michael Bourne.
It's a slashing inside out swing, finds that hole on the left side of the infield. Unfortunately, the second fastest runner on this Braves roster was on at second base, Jose Constanza, and he scored rather easily.
One and one. Marlon Byrd tracking. He has it. The 4 hits for Michael Bourne tied his career high. And the 2 homers for Brian McCann, who steps in. That ties a career high. Eric O'Flaherty is the lefty. And the righty is Christian Martinez. McCann will come up short in his bid for 3 as Bird gets that one. An unearned run. It's 8-3. Cubs. A tough one for Matt Garza. Defensively, the Cubs have struggled with 4 errors. Visit your local Honda dealer today to test drive the 2011 Honda Cross Tour, available with 4-wheel drive. Garza's faced the Braves twice this season. The Cubs have committed 8 errors in those games. He's committed a couple of them. As lefty Eric O'Flaherty has put up some pretty impressive numbers this season. Facing Starlin Castro, takes ball 1 inside. Bounced right back to the pitcher. Darwin Barney 0 for 3. $36,136 in attendance here at Wrigley Field on one of the best weather days we've had all year. 72 degrees. Wind coming in off the lake. Not a cloud to be found in the area. Never get sick of that view.
The only thing that would make it better is if the bases were full of Cubs base runners right now.
Right-hander Samardzija in the Cubs pen. The foul by Barney will find the upper deck. Look out, Aramis Ramirez and everybody in that dugout. Do not expect a right-handed hitter to hit the ball with that sort of angle. Called strike 3. 2 down here in the 8th.
Darwin battling, fouling off a lot of tough borderline pitches. That slider just hangs on that inside corner long enough for a called strike 3.
You know you've got a good bullpen, Bob, when Eric O'Flaherty's not even your top lefty.
Yeah. I mean, we touched on it briefly earlier, the possibility of the playoff appearance for the Braves, and we've seen it repeatedly in the past. If you can get 5 or 6 strong innings out of your starting pitcher and have a bullpen like the Braves have at their disposal, you can wreak some havoc in the postseason.
Maybe the last chance for Aramis to keep his hitting streak alive. Right now at 13, trying to get it to 14. And he will. Ball stuck right on the grass in front of the wall. It's a double. A 14-game hitting streak.
Man, such a good low ball hitter. Stayed right on that ball, head down the barrel of the bat. Ball must have hit right at the cut of the warning track out there, because you see it never really bounced. It just hit and kind of skidded into the vines for Constanza.
Carlos Pena with a bunt single, an infield hit, and a stolen base. And strike one. Oakland leading the Yankees 7-6 in the top of the sixth. But it was 7-1 A's at one point. Yankees on the comeback trail. Pennington has homered for the A's. Cano and Martin for the Yanks. Robinson Cano with a grand slam off Rich Harden, who went 4 1/3, 10 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 96 pitches. Seen that line before.
Yes, we have.
Called strike 3. O'Flaherty with a scoreless 8 as the Cubs strand a man at second. Here in the ninth with the Cubs trailing 8-3. Rubber game of this season series, each team winning 3 of the first 6. Pretty good view from the scoreboard. My good friend Fred Washington in charge out there. So Marja from the stretch with nobody on. And here's his 1-1. Slider was up as Ugla will fly to Bird. Got the pitching matchups for the weekend. Rodrigo Lopez and Randy Wolf will go tomorrow night here on WGN. Ryan Dempster and Giovanni Gallardo, really good matchup on Saturday. And then Casey Coleman and Zach Greinke will battle on Sunday. Milwaukee is 47-16 at home.
Going to say they've been hot is an understatement.
24-5 over their last 29.
That means they have to cool off, right?
Yeah, to go from a half game out to 10 up. They haven't won a division since they were in the American League in 1982. They got in 2008. It was as the wild card when the Cubs won the National League Central.
And the Brewers have really taken care of business against their own division. 38-21 against the Central this year. 17 games over 500.
That actually bounced about 4 feet in front of home plate and then hit Freeman.
That's a tough one for a hitter. You just don't know which direction to go. Looked like it caught him right on the right knee on a hop. Giovanni Soto ended up behind that left-handed batter's box in an attempt to block that pitch in the dirt, but it plunked Freeman before it got to Soto.
Speaking of the 82 Brewers, that guy pitched on that club. Late, though, he was acquired from Houston in September. Don Sutton, the Hall of Famer. .324 game winner.
He had 7 starts for the Brewers in that 82 season. Went 4-1 after winning 13 for the Astros earlier that year.
Castro will turn it. A 6-3 double play. And we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. 8-3 Atlanta. An Atlanta win today would mean 3 out of 4. And the Cubs would finish the homestand at 3-4. Christian Martinez will try to close out the home team as he faces Reed Johnson. That caught the corner. 0-1. Johnson started at 347 and he's there now after a 1-for-3 beginning to this contest. And that just got him.
Maybe.
I heard something.
Might have hit a thread hanging off of one of his buttons, but one of the less painful hit by pitches that Reed's had in his career.
Now that wasn't a very big elbow guard, but without the guard, it probably would not have hit him. It hit the guard. Norm and Sharon Huizenga want to say hi to all the Cub fans in Platte, South Dakota. Also, welcome to the Pasco Stars Special Olympics team here from Zephyr Hills, Florida. 15 athletes, 4 coaches in town compete in the Special Olympics National Softball Tourney in Elgin, Illinois this weekend. Cubs need to pile up some base runners here, trailing by 5 with only 3 outs to go. Rather a defensive swing there by Marlon Byrd. He felt the sting of that one, didn't he?
Oh yeah. When you get that ball that far down on the handle, you feel those vibrations all the way up to your shoulders. Get off me, ball. Well, it looks funny. Occasionally it can be embarrassing, but it serves a purpose. Keeps you alive in the at bat. Have to throw at least one more pitch here. Maybe get a mistake, hit it hard somewhere.
Prado to Ugla for 1. That's it.
Probably not hit hard enough to turn 2, but the high throw to second base eliminated any chance of the Braves turning a double play. Ugla just made sure to keep a foot on the bag and get the lead runner.
Ugla, Gonzalez. Fielder's choice for Colvin. Cubs down to their final opportunity here. One note on the Ramirez double to extend his hitting streak to 14 in the 8th. It also was his 700th career extra base hit. In the dirt, ball 1 to Giovanni Soto. 0 for 3 with an RBI.
Well, then we had the Great opportunity to talk to Bobby Cox down in Atlanta when we Cubs visited down at Turner Field, and I think Bobby would be very proud of the job that Freddie Gonzalez has done with this Braves team this year. Very much in Bobby's image. You guys play the game hard, they play right, don't make a lot of fundamental mistakes. Great pitching, timely hitting. Those are the things that the Braves relied on so heavily during their 14-year run to the playoffs under Bobby Cox.
Added some speed with Bourne and Constanza. And it looks like they're on their way to winning the wild card for the second straight year. Called strike 3, and that'll end the ball game. The Braves come to Wrigley Field and take 3 out of 4. An 8-3 decision this afternoon. The Cubs finish up the homestand at 3-4. Once again, the final: Braves 8, Cubs 3. We'll have more from Wrigley Field in a moment.